It's Tessa with hipover50.com talking about travel, mindset, and moving abroad. And in my case, it means moving abroad to England. So today I'm going to talk to you about what are some of the maybe different financial costs you can expect if you come from, let's say, the US to the UK as I did. So number one is something called VAT. So value added tax is like about a 20% tax that is added to almost everything, all goods and services. There are a few exceptions like financial and property transactions, but predominantly it's over everything. So it's a 20% tax that you don't really see because it's added to the price of all the goods and services. So for example, if you see a sweater in a store and it's got 50 pounds on the tag, that's exactly what you pay when you take it up to the cash register or the till. So value-added tax pays for things like the NHS and other government services. And it means that prices are just a little bit higher than you might expect because that is included. Let's talk about the pound. So right now the pound is an incredible exchange rate with the dollar. So for $1.13 you can buy a pound. Now I've known the pound to be as high as $2, $3 in exchange rate many years ago. So $1.13 is a fantastic value if you're coming over here with American dollars. It means things are just that little bit more affordable, which is kind of nice. But it does mean that you have to always keep in your mind. I always look at something and say, oh, it's a pound. And in my head, I think, oh, it's like $1. And that's kind of the way it is. You'll pay a pound for what you would expect to pay $1 for. But it's actually costing you just that little bit extra, if you know what I mean. So the other thing besides VAT that you can expect is council tax. Now, council tax is kind of on the person, really. It's what pays for the infrastructure, what pays for police, fire protection, rubbish and recycling, all of those things that you would normally expect to pay property tax for. But in the US, the property tax is paid by the owner of the property. A renter never pays it. Over here, everybody pays council tax. So whether you're a renter or a property owner, you pay your council tax. And it's based on the value of the property you live in or the band it's in, and also how many people are living in that property. So for example, if you are living there by yourself, you get a 25% discount off the lowest rate. If there's multiple people living in the property, then you will pay the council tax according to how many people are there. And the council tax bands are like A to H, A being the lowest, so the less expensive properties, H being the highest. And you can expect to pay anywhere from about 100 to 200 pounds a month, but that's just kind of a guesstimate on my part. I don't really know per se. I have my own council tax cost me a little over 100 pounds per month. What's another cost you can expect that's a little different here? Well, obviously, everybody's thinking and talking about the cost of gas, or petrol as they call it over here. It's gone up and up and up, and I'm sure it has in the US too. I've been seeing that it's gone up to almost $4 a gallon, which is incredible. Well, you can expect to pay about $1.60 per liter here. The gas is measured here in liters, not in gallons as it is in the US. So I did a little calculation and that comes out to about a little over $8 a gallon. So it's almost double the cost of fuel in the US. Most cars here have smaller gas tanks and are smaller cars, but it cost me about 54 pounds the other day to fill up my car, which has about 11 gallon tank, and that's about 60 something dollars. So just keep that in mind. What's another cost that you could expect if you are driving a car here? Well, you need to pay to park in most places. Whether it's a rural location, a city location, there will be a car park. It's very rare, unless you can find maybe street parking, to go somewhere and not have to pay to park here. And that can average, I would say that averages about £1 an hour, maybe a little more. I mean, I paid about $4 for an hour of parking in the center of Bath the other day. But it's just something that you have to be aware of and be prepared for. I have about 4 different apps on my phone to pay for parking, so you can set it up with a credit card or you can pay by cash. Just don't forget to pay or you will get a really big ticket, as I found out. So the other thing that you might have to expect to pay for over here that's a little different is, have you heard of the BBC? It is sort of like public broadcasting here. It's been around forever. There's several BBC channels. There's BBC Radio. There's BBC Sounds app. There's BBC iPlayer app. And basically, it's public television. But unlike PBS in the US, where you have an option to donate, here you don't. You are expected to pay an annual BBC licensing fee if you watch live TV at all. And it's a little cheaper if you have a black and white, but who has a black and white TV anymore? So a color TV costs you about £159 per year, which is roughly about $180 a year. And you can pay that in one whack, biannually, or have it debited out by the month. So those are some of the expenses that you might not have been aware of if you are thinking of coming over to the UK to live, that are different from what you have going on in the US. Again, it's good to expect just a little bit more expenses here. Not that things are more expensive, but because of the way it's set up with taxation. And some of these little additional expenses may catch you off guard. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any comments or questions or even ideas for future videos, I'd love to hear them. So put them in the comments below and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.